Today, all of you have to address me as Dr. K.
Mr. Anupam Kher, congratulations on being conferred with honorary doctorate by Hindu University of America, and thank you for speaking to Republic. Firstly, sir, how does it feel to be the first recipient of an honorary doctorate award from the Hindu University of America, and what significance does this award hold in your life?
Well, I always have a reference point of my life from where I started and where I've reached. I always judge or think about my achievements or what happens in my life, not from what I did last year, but when I landed in Mumbai on the 3rd of June, 1981, with 37 rupees in my pocket and lots of dreams. And slowly, most of the dreams are coming true, but I'm still halfway through. It's a great feeling to be honored with this honorary doctorate about Hindu philosophy. And I did not realize that how important it is till I actually attended the event. It's fantastic. I mean, so it makes me feel educated. It makes me feel elated. It makes me feel important. It makes me feel responsible towards the Hindu teachings, because I don't think as a child, in my speech also, I said, we were never told that this is what Hinduism is. This is what the meaning of being a Hindu is. We were that's why I said that Hinduism is not only a religion for me, but it's a way of life. Whether it was my mother's putting a tika on me, or whether we were woken up with dhoop, agarbatti, etc., etc. And to culminate this whole thing into this honorary degree is a wonderful, amazing, fantastic feeling.
Mr. Kher, now you have largely advocated for Hinduism primarily over the years, and now after being honored with an honorary degree like this, what role will you play in dispelling the various myths and misinformation spread about the religion, especially the quote-unquote dismantled global Hindutva narrative that is being spread?
Well, I think to correct your earlier statement, I have not spread always about Hinduism. I have spread what Hinduism believes in. And it believes in compassion towards other people. It believes in equality. It believes in harmony. It believes in selflessness. It believes in respecting all other religions. It believes in the fact that my parents used to take me from my house to, say, Mall Road, and in between there was a Gurdwara, there was a masjid, there was a church. They used to bow down at every single place of prayer. So that's what is important, and that's what I have been spreading. That's what I have been talking about. It's talking about goodness. It's talking about tolerance. And earlier I used to get a little upset about somebody saying about all these emotions that I conveyed to you right now. Now I don't. I get amused, because Hinduism, or the philosophy of Hindu, has survived thousands and thousands of years. So people want to get noticed, and that's why they want to sort of say something about dismantling, something about Hindu terror, something about all this, so that it suits them, because they get for their 15 seconds of fame. But we have survived. We have survived 800 years of Mughal rule and 200 years of British rule. And we will survive for many, many years, because goodness at the end of it survives. Compassion at the end of it survives. Because at the end of it also, I believe that it is good versus evil. At the end of it, what Bhagavad Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says to Arjun, ki karm kiye ja, phal ki ichha mat kar. That's what I have applied to my career also. Means I have just kept on doing work and left the criticism for people to criticize. There are two kinds of people in this world. There are some people who are criticizers, and the other people are doers. I'm one of the doers. So it doesn't bother me anymore, but it used to at some stage.
Sir, in your opinion, is Hinduism being used as a political gimmick by various parties right before the elections, and you follow those happenings very closely, when it is either about chanting the Chandi path at a rally or engaging in temple runs, sporting a janeu before the elections. You think religion can be reduced to a pre-election appeasement tactic this way, and it is done by some politicians?
Politicians are bound to play to the gallery. Actors at least know that they are playing to the gallery and they are given lines. But politicians do use these kind of things. And I heard recently a politician saying that when he went to Kashmir, that he is a Kashmiri Hindu. Means it's very fascinating and it's very amusing to hear all that. But that's all right. Means it's if it gets them votes, I'm sure it's worth the try that they are trying. But they do use, and politics is not only about goodness and serving the people. Politics is also coming into the power and then doing what they want to do. But if they keep changing their stance, that I am at a Muslim rally, I am a Muslim or some supporter, then they go to Christian rally, then they say, okay, we believe in this, and they go to Hindu rally. That's more of a fancy dress because they are changing their attires and pleasing those people. But what are you at the core of the whole thing, what your heart is about, it always shows in your actions. Actions speak louder than words or the theatrics of politics. So to each whatever they want to do. But coming back to my doctorate, coming back to my honorary doctorate, the point is to spread the philosophy and the teachings of Hinduism, which again I want to repeat is harmony, it respecting other religions, and believing in the philosophy of karma.
You've received this degree at a time when in Western universities there is a sinister campaign called Dismantling Global Hindutva that I just mentioned, and it took place last week and was promoted exactly at the time when Taliban had taken over Kabul. So again, your opinion, do you see a rise in global Hindu phobia?
It can go to any level rise, but it will be always demolished because a pack of lies always gets dismantled. The pack of lies, it's like saying somebody tells you your name is not Suesha. It's not Suesha. How many times you can say that? But you will smile, you will laugh, you will say, okay, if it makes you better. Yes, I saw that campaign. I was over here. I was very keen on reacting to it. But then I said, it will be giving them importance. And you are again giving them importance by talking about them over here. Because when you talk about negative things, you get more attention these days. Goodness is not getting noticed. But to me, cool is being good. To me, honest is being cool. To me, compassionate is being cool. And that's why I say Hindu religion or Hindu way of life is being very cool. It's cool. When I read about all that, and they're opportunists. They use situations where they will not talk about Taliban capturing and killing innocent people, but they will use spreading the words in these universities. And also, let me clarify, these are certain organizations in universities who are studying there. It does not have the endorsement of the university. They are, even in that, they are trying to be extra clever by using that, the 40 universities or 30 universities have come together. Now, I run an acting school. If 3 people sort of say that we don't want acting to be taught like that, that doesn't mean that the whole school endorses that thought. So it's perfectly all right. I said to you, 800 years of Mughal rule, 200 years of British rule. Have they been able to dismantle anything about the philosophy and the teachings of Hinduism? No, it's not possible. Because it's in our system. It's, as I said, it's in our DNA. You must know that. I'm sure your parents must be talking about it. Your family must be talking about it. I'm not putting down other religions. I think every religion has great people and great philosophers and great thoughts and great teachings. But that does not mean that I will not talk about how I have grown up in my surroundings of these teachings of which represent Hinduism.
Absolutely, and that you do. And we are talking about Western universities, but speaking of misinformation and Hindu phobia, even back home there are examples where some of your colleagues from the film fraternity and others have made ill-informed statements. For example, recently the likes of Javed Akhtar, who had compared the Taliban to the RSS, which talks about a Hindu Rashtra. And you did say that, when you watch this happen, you feel the urge to react, but then really wanting to know your thoughts at that time.
I read about it. I laughed, to be very honest. I laughed because it's not true. When you're telling the truth, you don't have to remember it. So if Javed Saab feels better by saying that, maybe it makes him feel better. First of all, it's not come from him to me. I read it about it, so that reading about it can be misinterpreted. As a colleague of mine, is a senior person whom I worked with. But if he's actually said that, maybe that's what he feels. But we live in the most amazingly democratic country where anybody can say anything and you will get away with it. We live in a country which, in fact, practices tolerance. Can you say that in Afghanistan today about the similar kind of statement? Can you say that in any other country, the similar kind of statement? Can you say that even in America? So when you say that, it makes me feel that very proud that we live in a country where you can say anything. That is the true meaning of democracy, that you can say anything and live with it. To each his own. If you want to live with it, with that kind of a thing, there's a different kind of appeasement that people do. And that is not only one particular person, it's so many other people. When people, Tukde gang talk about Bharat Tere Tukde Honge, they are Indians. But that doesn't mean, in fact, that solidifies other people. When you hear somebody say something like that, तो बाकी लोगों की रीढ़ की हड्डी जो है वो ताकतवर हो जाती है, वो सीधी हो जाती है. बाकी लोगों को लगता है कि millions of people who may not have a name, but they get together and say, "Oh, this is absolute rubbish." So people should make these statements so that it brings other people together. So it's all right. It may grab you Twitter trending, because we are in the world of social media where you trend for a day. You also trend, you're sure that when you die, you will trend for a day. At least that is sure. So in all your life, if you're not trending, if you're a known person, anybody. So when a person makes a statement like that, it puts millions of people together, because in their heart of heart, they know that it's absolute rubbish and it's not true. So this person or that person, I'm not particularly talking about Javed Saab right now. I'm just saying about anybody. उनको पता ही नहीं है कि वो कितने लोगों को इकट्ठा कर देते हैं अपनी एक स्टेटमेंट से. वो पावर है ट्रूथ की, वो पावर है कंपैशन की, वो पावर है टॉलरेंस की.
All this that you just mentioned brings me to my last question, Dr. Kher, since you've received the doctorate very recently.
Yes.
One is about what we are exposed to on social media, or what we watch. But a person like you, who's a globetrotter from New York to Mumbai and all the places in between, behind all this constructed narrative that is pushed by motivated groups, how do you think people on the ground really perceive Hinduism?
It's in their homes. They perceive it with the teachings of what their parents or what their families or what their people teach you. I come from a lower middle class family or middle class family. I have nobody told me कि तुम बाल मुंडा के चुटिया बढ़ा के धोती कुर्ता पहन के तिलक लगा के बार बार बोलोगे राम 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 राम. हमारे तो प्रैक्टिस होता था. वही तो मैंने आपसे कहा, हिंदुस्तान के गांव में, शहरों में ये प्रैक्टिस होती है. जब दिवाली की पूजा होती है, फॉरगेट अबाउट दिवाली और होली और समथिंग लाइक दैट, ये प्रैक्टिस करते हैं. हमारे घर वाले हमको समझाते हैं, सिखाते हैं. तो सोशल मीडिया में नोटिस होना भी अच्छी बात है, इट्स ऑल राइट. बट इसको कुछ लोग ज्यादा उछालते हैं, इसमें सच नहीं है. और वो बार बार वो भगवत गीता की लाइनें याद आती है. तो वो इसमें एक ताकत है, सच बोलने में एक ताकत है. इस तरह की बातें में जब इंसान खड़े करते हैं तो उसमें भी एक, उसके जवाब में एक ताकत है. और ताकत हमेशा साइलेंट होनी चाहिए. जरूरी नहीं हर बातों की बात का जवाब बातों से देना चाहिए. साइलेंस समटाइम्स, most of the time, speaks volumes and much more stronger than constantly using words. And silence jab gets together, then it explodes. When I say explodes, doesn't mean that any other particular. It means it has its own power. Truth has its power, And that will always remain like that. And it's not because I'm an eternal optimist I'm saying all that. I'm saying it because now I am reached a stage where I know how we were brought up. So I said to myself, why do I live a life like this? Because I was brought up in that atmosphere. So being a Hindu is not about religion. It's about the way of life. I'll say it again and again and again.
Wonderful. Once again, many congratulations, Dr. Anupam Kher. And thank you for putting out this word and speaking to Republic.
Thank you.